Hey everybody, Eric here from Nomadic Fanatic. Thanks for joining me here on the channel. We are taking a short break from doing RV modifications and getting this one ready because it's camping season. We're all getting ready to go out and camp because the sun's coming out. In most places, it's actually pouring rain outside here in Illinois. But I thought this would be a great opportunity to share with you with my 11 plus years of RV camping. I want to share my top 6 memberships or RV clubs that I think you should consider joining that are really going to help you and save you money. Because I've been doing this for so long, I also, of course, want to talk about those that I've tried that haven't worked, and maybe I would say, maybe you shouldn't do it if you're like me, or maybe the ones that I don't like, you do like. I'm just going to be brutally honest. We're going to talk about some prices and some benefits of all these different clubs, and just kind of talk you through it. Sound good? Let's begin with the 6 RV memberships or clubs that I think you should join because I enjoy them. Number 1 is Passport America. You've probably heard of some of these first ones that I'm going to name, but I'll bet you some of the other ones you haven't even heard of. Passport America has been around for a long time. To give you an idea of what Passport America does, first of all, the price, that's important. It's $44 a year, or you can buy a lifetime membership for $300, which is what I have. I have a lifetime membership because it has come in handy so many different times. But essentially what Passport America is, it's a card that gives you discounts on RV campgrounds all over the country. It's not just a specific region. It's all over the country. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to get half off at most of these campgrounds. And there are, let me see how many, 1,200 campsites in the entire country. There are a lot of kind of smaller, family owned and operated, just really pretty spots. I mean, I'll be honest, there's some bad ones too, but you get 50% off. So to give you an idea, you're normally going to pay $50 at this RV campground or RV park. It's $25 with your card. You can make your reservations online. You can also oftentimes just kind of show up and just pay cash and get your discount. But the one thing about this membership is there are restrictions. So when you click on your whatever campground you're going to look, make sure you scroll down to the notes category and read and find out exactly what the limitations are on your card. Oftentimes, it's only valid for 1 or 2 nights. So if you want to stay 3, 4, or 5 nights, you might have to pay full price outside of your first 2 nights or whatever. Also, some of them have seasons, like if you're in the south in the winter or in the desirable north in the summertime. Oftentimes it's not valid during holidays or weekends or things like that. But for me, I just need to hit an RV campground once or twice a week pretty much to empty my tanks and get back on the road. So Passport America is a wonderful resource for someone like me who just needs to catch up and use it for a night here while passing. And it's very nice that they have them all over the country. So Passport America is a good one. Number 2 on my list, harvesthosts.com. It's kind of a hard one to say. Harvest Hosts. This one is a wonderful resource, and I have been using it for several years, actually. This one, let me get the prices on this one. Okay, they have raised it quite a bit. But one cool thing about Harvest Hosts is your price is locked in whenever you join. Mine is still actually $39 a year. My membership number only has 4 digits. The new ones have 6 digits. It is $100 a year to join now. However, the really neat thing about this is, let me see how many they have. Good grief. Okay, this is the fastest growing membership of all of them for us. They currently have, as of the recording of this, 3,339 wineries, breweries, farms, golf courses, attractions, museums. They're just kind of scattered all over. There's just a lot of, you guys have seen on my channel, I've been to a lot of these. They're really tech savvy too at Harvest Hosts. There's an app that you can download and use. Instead of having to call these places like you have to do in the past or in some other places, you can just, once you're signed in on your phone or on your computer, you can ask to join a certain date, and it pops up a calendar, and you click, can I stay that day? it is very important to know that at this one specifically, you must be in a fully self-contained vehicle. It doesn't have to be an RVIA approved motorhome like this is. It could be a school bus, but it has to be fully self-contained. You can't camp. You can't be in your car. You can't be in a tent of any kind because there's no facilities. They want you to be self-contained in your RV on their property. The reason why it's a great resource is because you're not going to pay for that. You're going to boondock, essentially, okay? And then you can run your generator if you need to, and you're going to spend one night there, and they're hoping that you're going to come into whatever this is and spend a couple bucks. If you're a wine person, you can go get some wine there. I like the craft breweries. It doesn't say how many exactly there are, but there are a lot of craft breweries, and we have been to several of those, and it is so much fun to just come in at night, get a little flight, and a wonderful place to try out some local craft beer and meet the people. They're very knowledgeable about what they do and about the area you're in, and oftentimes they give me ideas for what else to film in that area while I'm there. But yes, the whole one-night maximum stay is something to consider. If you wanted to spend more time there, you're either going to have to find another Harvest Host location, or you're going to need to find somewhere else to boondock the second and third night while you're there. But Harvest Host has been really, really wonderful. It has a great system for leaving reviews for all the members, and definitely listen to and go through all the reviews. Make sure this is going to be a place that's going to work for you. And I hope to be using this a lot more on the road in this new RV. Number 3 on my list, I guess, maybe these aren't really in order, but Good Sam's membership. And I'm not a huge Camping World fan. However, for $30 a year, the benefits are definitely going to save you money no matter what you do. Even if you don't ever shop at Camping World, or if you never need anything installed, oftentimes they have free installation if you need a new fridge. However, they're oftentimes booked 6, 7, 8 months out to put that fridge in for free, included it in your membership. But you do get discounted stuff when you need parts and stuff to purchase from Camping World. They will ship to other stores. They will ship to home or your RV park if it's in stock. But there are 2 really cool things about the Good Sam's membership that are definitely worth it to me, okay? Gas prices are still ridiculous here in this country. When you're filling a 90-gallon fuel tank on a Class A RV, saving 5 cents per gallon at Flying J and Pilot truck stops, travel stations, it does add up and it helps a lot. It's also just a wonderful place to stop in as an RVer because almost always there are specific RV lanes that don't have a roof where the cars go, where the passenger cars go. They actually have RV pumps, and Flying J and Pilot are kind of unique in that sense. Sometimes you'll find them at Love's, but usually you just have to go fill up your RV in the normal car section. So getting 5 cents off per gallon in most states. Don't quote me on it, but there are 2 or 3 states in this country that don't give you a discount for some reason. Just that state chose not to. Also, you will get 10 cents off per gallon with propane fill-ups. Maybe that matters to you. I don't know. Oftentimes, it's still cheaper to find an RV park or somewhere else that sells propane for $1 cheaper than these places. But it's all about convenience, too. You can get your gas, you can get your propane, then you can pull up and you can dump your tank, and oftentimes you can get fresh drinking water at the same time. We're talking about all at the same gas station. So Good Sam's definitely comes in handy for that, and I highly recommend that one. Number 4 on my list is Escapees, of course. Escapees has a membership, which gives you many, many benefits, but one of the great benefits for a nomad is it gives you a legal address. So I'm a resident of Texas. They can handle all of my mail coming in. They scan my mail. They show it to me on my phone and say, what do you want to do with this? I can say, send it with my next mail package that I have forwarded. I can say, shred it. I can say, open it and scan every single page in that envelope and send it to me. You can literally read your mail remotely. They accept your packages, and again, they will hold those when you come pick them up. I do that pretty much once or twice a year there in Livingston, Texas. They don't just have one in Livingston, Texas. I also know of one, the main stores up in South Dakota, as well as Florida as far as domicile, and they have many locations throughout the country and campgrounds that you get steep discounts at all of the escapee campgrounds. There are clubs that you can join. And they handle all of your registration needs. So Texas is a little different because you still do need a vehicle inspection each year to be completed. You can get a pass on that and come back and get it when you do come through, but Escapees will handle all of your registration needs. They will take all your stuff into the office for you and remotely do that and say, you owe $232.13. Okay, charge my postage account to that and pay for that, and then where do you want us to send your tabs? And then the next time you come in Texas, of course, you have to get your vehicle inspected and go sign your registration forms and everything. We're on 5 of my list. Of course, the Dirt. But this actually may be one that you haven't heard of, so let's talk about this one. TheDirt.com. They do have a free version. It's not going to cost you anything, but you don't get all of the services that are included in the Dirt Pro, which is, let me get the price. It looks like it's now $35 a year for the Pro version. The Dirt is... okay, well, you know, like if you go on Google, sometimes the reviews are a little skewed. One person gives it 5 stars and says it was the most amazing thing since sliced bread, and then somebody else tells you like a real life thing and says, actually, this was bad, this was horrible, I will never come back here, this place shouldn't even be open. And you're like, what the heck? Or sometimes it's all good, but you have a terrible experience. Or vice versa, you have a wonderful experience, but the reviews are terrible because somebody hijacked all the reviews. The Dirt is a wonderful place for reviews on campgrounds. That's really the main thing that you can get out of the free version, but the Pro version offers a lot more. Nobody is filtering your reviews or your experiences or deleting things, or, you know, it's a very authentic page for knowing exactly what to expect at these campgrounds. Also, the Pro has the trip planner, which I know some apps also have that. Even Gas Buddy has an app in there where it'll tell you how long you think you're going to get on your fuel tank, and we're going to map that. The trip planner through the Dirt is a really helpful thing. It'll show you where the campgrounds are that you've highlighted, and you can say, oh, I only want to go 10 miles off my path for a really good campground. So yeah, $35. I didn't actually renew my $35 this last time because I don't need the planner and all the other tools, but getting the honest reviews for free on that version, at least for right now, at the time of recording this, there still is a free version of the Dirt. And lastly, number 6, I bet you haven't heard of this one. It's a relatively newer company. Another amazing, unique membership is Campnab, run by Eric and Eric. And I'm named Eric too, and I love it too. So what this one is, how do I explain it? It's $10 a month or $90 a year for this. This one, let me give you a scenario. So it's peak time. Your family decides that you want to go camping at this one national park or this one really highly sought after campground. Maybe it's Fort Wilderness in Florida at Disney World, or any campground. There are a lot of campgrounds on here. This is a little unique. So Campnab has developed, what do you call it? A database in here that is going to help you get notified when there's a cancellation. So rather than me just sitting here calling back every hour at this one campground because I have to have it and say, were there any cancellations? Is anybody modifying anything? So they have a built-in algorithm. So I tell them I want to stay at Disney's Fort Wilderness on July 22nd, and I want this campground or that campground, go. I can go do my thing. What's going to happen is that algorithm is going to continue to scan. It's going to scan for me, and as soon as there's a cancellation or a modification and something opens up, they're going to email me, or you can even give them your text number. They will text you and say, hey, an opening just came up. There was a cancellation. Now, it's your responsibility to call and verify that and book that, but you didn't have to do the actual work to find out when it was canceled, because there doesn't really exist any other resource in the world that tells you when those campgrounds magically come available by people who have canceled them, and that's what Campnab does. And I think it's a very unique company. I have not used them. I did actually do a scanning. They gave me a site here at the Pier Marquette campground, but I didn't like that site. I actually took the car up there to look at it, and it's too slanted. It's one thing I couldn't tell. But that time when I was up in the car, I wrote down the sites that were really good so that if another one opens up here in the following week, I will be able to get up there, and Campnab will let me know to nab that campsite real quick. So a very unique one. And again, all of the links to these will be in the video description below. I'm not being paid by any of these companies. I'm just giving you my honest review. those are the 6. How about a few notable mentions? Yeah. All Stays. Well, actually, this is a app on your phone. All Stays is a paid app. I know there are a lot of free ones out there, but All Stays is one that I paid for many, many years ago, and it's transferable through my Apple account on my iPhone, so it is transferred through several different iPhones, and it does everything. You just open it up, you search for where you're at, it tells you where Walmarts are at, it tells you which Walmarts allow overnight camping, which don't. It also has fuel, it has places where you can fill up for propane, it has Cracker Barrel listing, and in the Cracker Barrel description of those, it talks about if they have the RV spaces or not, or whether or not you can overnight at Cracker Barrel. I don't talk about Cracker Barrel too often, but really it is becoming like my new go-to on the road. It's great. And you get either a wonderful dinner or an amazing breakfast or both. I'm loving it that they have taken over and catered so much to the RV boondock community out there. So check out All Stays for your app. Also, of course, and this one's not in an app, this is only on your browser on your computer, is Freecampsitesnet. This one's been around for a very long time. It has changed hands in ownership a couple times as well and still functions, unlike Sandy Dumps. It's gone. I miss that one, the free dump station one. Yeah, they didn't get that one. But yeah, freecampsites.net is a wonderful resource. They've updated the site now to where it says what the cell phone service is based on viewers. So when I get there, I have Verizon on my phone, I have AT&T on my Nomad internet. I'm going to look at how many bars and say if it's usable or not. I add to that, and then it updates and kind of gives the average. So before you get to the campsite, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? There aren't even like paid campgrounds and campsites that give you that kind of information. And many of us are traveling digital nomads working from the road who need internet. We don't need your Wi-Fi, but we need our internet and our phone service to work while we're there, and that may be a deciding factor, seeing right there that, oh, they have T-Mobile, but they don't have Verizon or AT&T at this one. I may have to try a different one. There's pictures, there's reviews, they even talk about the road in, so if it's 0.6 miles of dirt road, and then they'll say, but it's okay for an RV, or you need a high clearance vehicle, like a truck and stuff like that. So it's a very helpful tool planning, and I always use them. I always look first, you know. And then lastly, kind of like Harvest Hosts, Boondockers Welcome, which has been around longer than Harvest Hosts, and now they have actually combined. They are one and the same now. Boondockers Welcome owns Harvest Hosts, or vice versa. Anyway, they're part of the same when you go on there. In fact, you're gonna get a message that you're gonna get a good deal if you join both of those. I tried Boondockers Welcome, and I don't want to really say anything negative or bad about it. It's definitely a different thing. If you're at a house and you have RV hookups, you can join for free. If you let people come stay on your property and park on your property, and if you have plug-ins or water or sewer, some of them don't. Some of them don't have anything. Sometimes it's just a driveway, which is fine too. Some of them have a hookup. Some of them have like an extension cord, just a 10 amp extension cord as well. So you would contact these people privately and then say, hey, I want to stay at your house. Okay, so why don't I like it? It's not that I don't like it, it's just not for me. I don't get anything done when I was doing the Harvest Host because, bless their heart, everyone is so incredibly friendly. They're proud of where they live. They want to talk your head off. Sometimes they'll even cook you food and like give you local beers or wines or stuff, or just want to sit outside and just chat all day and all night. And I remember you just kind of have to take a day off from work because they're chatty. That's all I'm saying. And maybe that's a wonderful thing for someone who just, you know, really gets lonely on the road, to be able to meet new people. And then when you leave, you can post a review of that. You're also going to rate the person you stayed with. The person that you stayed with is going to rate you as an RVer. You know, if you're disrespectful or left cigarette butts outside on their property or something like that, it's all going to get noted. And then if you get, you know, like 3 demerits or something, you can actually get kicked out of it. So something to consider if you're a really sociable person and you like meeting new people on the road. Maybe consider Boondockers Welcome. It just kind of wasn't for me. And lastly, since I talked about all these that I like, we need to talk about 3 that I don't like, that I don't even recommend. Now, when I talk about these, I'm going to say why I don't like them, but really, in essence, this is fair warning from Nomadic Fanatic that you might want to be careful. The first one is the biggest camping membership in the world, which I have not talked about in over a year now. We're just gonna, and I'm not gonna go into details, but 1,000 Trails. I'm going to talk about what it is. 1,000 Trails is a membership that you join from anywhere between, well, you can buy a camping pass for like $1,200, or you can buy one of their 3, 4, or 5 packages that are 6,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, and now 18,000 for the Adventure Pass. $18,000. Yeah, and so back in the day when it was just the camping pass, it was cool because you could stay for 2 weeks at one of these and then take 7 days off and then go 2 weeks at another one. It's just the company did not do too well during COVID, and some of their practices and ideas and the way they treated their members. And it's just the prices have just skyrocketed to unbelievable. I mean, I actually do have some friends who have paid $18,000 for this membership, and they say they love it. You get 3 weeks there, and then you don't have to stay out for 7 days. You can just live off 1,000 Trails. Although, if they find out that you live in your RV full time, they can boot you from the program without a refund. It has to be an RVIA approved RV. Can't be a schoolie that you built. It can't be a camper van. It could be like the most amazing, beautiful thing that you built that has everything self-contained. But if it doesn't have that little RVIA approved motorhome sticker on it, you can't use 1,000 Trails. You might get away with it at a few of them, but eventually you're going to get caught and they're going to catch you and they're just going to kick you out of the program. I've had many documented in my videos issues with 1,000 Trails, and we're not going to go into that. But you can search through my folder, through my videos and playlists, and find some crazy things going on with the company. It just went downhill, and I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, be careful. The other one is RV on the Go, which is a little similar to 1,000 Trails. In fact, they might even be partners, but also some places in California and Florida call it the Encore Resorts. They are just, they're very difficult people because they're difficult for us campers who want to come in, because most of the people, that 90 to 92% of the people there live there full time. They either have a trailer or an RV or a mobile home or something, and they live there. They are comfortable there. They put the 5 slots that are available to RV on the Go people or Encore people in the worst possible areas. It either floods, or it's the high traffic, or it's where all the residents go at night after it gets dark to let their dog poop in your yard and then walk off and leave it there. It's just, it never was a good experience, and I never felt comfortable at any of these places. Also, many of them are strangely, they're age-restricted campgrounds that I get to go to. So it is a 55 or older community that you can't stay there unless you're 55 or older. However, with the Encore, if I'm just doing a night, or I don't know what the limit is, but somehow magically I can stay there. And so there's nobody my age. There's nothing I like to do there. It's just, bingo and shuffleboard and arts and crafts and stuff. And for me, it didn't. So that's what I'm saying. For me, it didn't work. Maybe that one works for you. Okay. And lastly, we're going to KOA. So KOA might be, well, actually, it's not a membership. They do have a membership. How much is their membership? I'm actually having a hard time finding the price. Here it is, $33. It doesn't say a year or a month. Anyway, this membership, doesn't really matter what the price is. It's either $33 a month or $33 a year, and what you get is 10% off their regular rate. That's all you get. And the thing about the KOA campgrounds, they are much different than the 1,000 Trails campgrounds. I'd say 1,000 Trails are bare bones minimum, like the minimum to be an actual campground, right? KOA has massive amenities and programs and activities and pools and spas and weight rooms and kid activities and everything. The problem with that is, for someone like me who just needed to be there for the one night so that I could dump my tanks, get water, recharge, do my laundry, get back on the road, well, there is no price for me in the $25 to $50 range. I have to pay I paid $150 a night in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Usually it's more in the range of $75 to $125 a night at these. So, whoopee, I get a membership, I get 10% off $150. It doesn't have that good feeling. It doesn't make me want to come back. So, and again, this is one of those that I don't like, but maybe you like. Maybe you need all that. But I wish that there was a place where you could pay for a different site where you don't need all that, but you could get a discount. I'm not going to use all that extra stuff. Can I just get a lower rate to camp in my RV? I'm not even going to leave my RV mostly, except for doing laundry. I'm going to use all my own amenities. But then again, a lot of people like KOA, and I'm sure I will go to another KOA sometime in the future. I'm sure I will. It's just going to hurt the pocketbook, and you better make the most of it. Anyways, those are the 6 memberships or RV clubs that I think you should enjoy, and some that you might want to look into a little further before you decide any further. Are you guys excited about camping season? I am. I really, really am, guys. But I still have some stuff that has to get done here in the RV, so be patient with me. Hopefully we will be back very soon with some more modifications and upgrades and fixing this RV up to get it roadworthy, okay? You guys have a good one. Tara and Opie now. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.